everybody. Welcome to GeekStorm. I'm Sean Hilton, owner of Comics Cube, founder of the Kokomo Con. And the best news that you're going to hear all day.
I doubt it.
The tie-dye sale is coming up at Comics Cube on the Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. It's the biggest sale of our entire year. It's been the biggest sale we've had for over 20 years, and the store's only been in business for like 8 years. So
long time.
Do the math.
How do you squeeze that in there?
It's pretty incredible. Up to 75% off back issues.
Wow.
Bags, boards, boxes, anything and everything in the store.
How does he do it?
For sale.
Volume.
Tax subsidies, baby. Tax subsidies. That's how we do it. Today I'm joined by Michael Allen Harrison, who is ready and willing to discuss all things geek. That's right. We're living our lives just so that
La Geeka Loca.
You
See what I did?
can get your geek news on. So, Mike, what did you do in this world this week to, keep your geek cards strong?
Ooh, I played a lot of World of Warcraft.
It sucked you back in.
It did. It really did.
What levels?
I'm at max level now.
How many characters are at max level now?
Just two. Why I leveled up one that I wasn't crazy about once I got there.
Okay.
Mages wear cloth.
True.
Can't take a lot of damage.
Yeah, well, it's not their job.
Right.
They're not a tank.
Right. But that sucks when you're solo, when you're by yourself, which I am most of the time.
Because you have no friends.
I have several friends.
Haven't met them.
I have up to 3 friends.
Yes.
So,
Are those the viewers?
I decided I didn't like that gameplay, so I went to a paladin.
Paladin, tank.
Paladin, holy
Wholesome
warrior.
magic.
Well, in this game, the paladin can do all 3 things. If I choose to heal, if I choose to tank, or if I choose to do DPS, it's up to you.
You can do it all.
I can do it all,
He is like the Swiss Army knife of World of Warcraft
and can
characters.
stand toe to toe with 2-3 guys on you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I enjoy that much more. Right now I'm already at 120, which is the max. So right now I'm in the grinding phase, which everybody hates, where I need reputation with this faction, this faction, this faction, so I can get better gear and that type of thing. So
How much does it cost to play World of Warcraft a month?
$15 a month.
That still seems like a very good value.
It is.
So, because I pay about $15 for my Netflix a month, and I don't know if we compared to who's getting a better value, but it would be close.
I'm hoping to get a new laptop this Christmas.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What have you done to deserve such a trendy new hot item?
Well, this right here is all I need.
So the thing
This
that we
is my
see on
pass.
milk cartons across the country every
Or wanted posters, or post office walls, whatever you want.
Hey, Mike, in the world of geekery,
Yeah.
According to this list that I made up for once.
You did, nice job.
It's all printed
I'm
out
always worried.
in order of what I thought was relevant.
Right.
Even.
Oh, okay.
Might not be accurate,
Sure.
but Disney has got some Star Wars news on 2 different fronts.
They do.
You are a big Star Wars fan. What do you think of some of the news?
I think it's great, especially Rogue One being the.
Okay, we didn't say what the news was, dude.
Okay.
You gotta actually see. I feed it to you, and then you're like, "Hey, yeah, that." And
You
then
asked me what I thought of the news.
Yes,
That
but
news is great. I enjoy the news.
yes, but
But so they're gonna. Once you say the news, then ask for my opinion. Don't ask for my opinion about it before you say what it is. This one falls on you.
You could have done a little bit with it, like through it. Hey. So Disney Plus, which is going to be the name of the new Disney streaming service
Is
that we
it?
should see. Yeah, they've Disney Plus.
That was Disney Play.
No, Disney Plus.
Okay.
Come on,
Disney
catch
Plus.
up, man.
Disney Plus?
Disney Plus.
I don't like
and right now it's Disney and just a plus sign.
I don't like it. Go ahead.
So, but Disney Plus has got several original content created things, just like DC did with Titans and some other things.
Sure.
Netflix. Everybody has to have.
They're really throwing in the creator content. For
Yeah,
sure.
you've got to do it. You've got to have original content. Otherwise, you're just showing us reruns.
Right.
And 90% of what they're going to show us is reruns. But so they've already announced Loki with Tom Hiddleston.
Awesome.
There had been mention of a
Scarlet
Witch thing. Don't know about that now. And then there was a Mandalorian live-action Star Wars.
Yes.
With the director of Iron Man 1 and 2.
Already started filming.
Can't wait to see it. It's
gonna be awesome.
Now they've just announced a second Star Wars live-action television series featuring a character previously seen, and with the original actor returning to portray that.
Right.
Philson,
Okay.
what else you got?
So Rogue One has been, since the relaunch of everything with Disney in the Star Wars universe, has been overwhelmingly the favorite of any of the movies. Yes, it has. It hasn't done as much business.
I don't like it.
Okay, just because you don't like it, you're like one of 100 people that might not like that
like that
show.
movie.
People are polarized on both of the 7 and 8, and definitely polarized on Solo. But
Loved it.
You're the first person I've ever heard that didn't like Rogue One.
Because all the characters except for the robot are unlikable. There's not a single person to like in that show. They're all jerks.
Well, they can't be Teletubbies. It's got to
Every single
tell a
one's a
story.
jerk.
Who's a jerk? Jen's a jerk.
Jen's definitely a jerk.
What'd she do, jerky?
She's a jerk.
That's the thing.
The guy who stars in this, he's a jerk.
Captain Cassian.
He is the worst. He's actually the reason I don't like the show.
Okay, they're all spies.
Yep.
You can't have a spy that's a fun, lovable character. That's
You
Melissa
absolutely
McCarthy
can.
or
Mr.
something.
Bean did it. He did it just fine. Austin Powers did it. He did it just fine.
Anyway, Captain Cassian. It's about this series that we're going to see, and I don't know if it's ongoing or just a limited thing. Is going to be follow him, and it's going to be pre-Rogue One.
So before he dies.
Yes, it would be well before he dies, when they're not going to explore the after world that I know of. So, I don't know, that's it.
So Diego Luna is returning, who is the
great.
actor in it, and he's great. I mean, I don't throw the acting except for maybe the Jen character. I didn't like anything about her at all. He was a pretty good actor. I just don't like the character. But there wasn't any mention of K2SO or whatever.
And here's the same point with Scarlet Witch. Okay, they don't have to throw everything out at once.
It's true.
Okay,
you hold some of it back.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch. You'll hear about Scarlet Witch next month. You know,
So maybe.
you will. You'll hear about Elizabeth Olsen, who's one of the twins. I'm told.
She's
Is going to be. Well, she's going to step in. One of the twins is going to step in for her.
stepping for what?
For Scarlet Witch.
So they're going to get a twin that's not.
Isn't she one of the
related-
Olsen twins?
No, she is related to the Olsens, but she's not an Olsen twin.
That's weird.
As it turns out that you can have twins and then have other siblings.
She wasn't popular on Fuller House?
No, neither of those two were popular on Fuller House. Neither of them did the show. Now it's canceled,
All right.
and so we can move on with life.
Did she own the?
No, she did not.
The mercantile
So-
on Little House on the Prairie.
Star Wars, Disney has
Ellie Olsen.
come out and said they've recouped their $4 billion investment.
Billion with
Now
a
the
B.
$4 billion was some cash. I want to say it was like $1 billion of money.
I heard $2 billion. I heard 2 and 2 is what I heard.
And then X amount in stock options, which George Lucas hasn't been hurting on the stock options either. I'm under the impression.
He's not hurting for anything.
I think he's doing all right, but they paid approximately $4 billion somewhere in that for the Star Wars franchise. When they got it back in 2006 or whatever it was, I snorted, saying that is a ridiculous sum of money to pay on the low side.
Sure.
I'm like, one movie I thought could have possibly practically got them their money back. So
And they haven't even scratched Raiders yet. You know, they own that, so they haven't even messed with that. Oh yeah, by the way.
And all this money though that they're saying doesn't include the production costs of the films that they've already made, which accounts for hundreds of millions of dollars to make those films. But that money doesn't include merchandising, DVD, Blu-ray,
Right.
any of the sales on that
All the
material.
things.
How much money they'll get out of me if they ever reproduce Young Indiana Jones without it being torn up and shredded for the masses and put back in all the original content.
Speaking of Young, remind me to ask you something later about
All right.
Young Indiana Jones. I know you like it.
So that is your Star Wars. Do you have any other Star Wars news we'd like to get into? Ray Park still hates you guys, right?
As far as I know.
Okay. So 501st, Ray Park still hates them. Disney's making a lot of money on Star Wars and is going to continue to make a lot of money on Star Wars, but is also claiming now, after some of the backlash, some of the unwarranted backlash, especially for Solo, which is a damn fine film, probably the best of the Star Wars films they've made so far.
Wow.
Well, absolutely, I'll stand on that.
Ugh.
So, a fun action adventure movie. Turns out that's what they gave me with the first 3 movies, and I enjoyed them.
Not a single
Maybe they
likable
should
character.
go back to trying to make that kind of movie
Whatever.
again, instead of trying to please fanboys who can't be pleased and will happily burn down the house they're standing in just so they can say, "Look at me, look at me." Now, you had something to say about Raiders, which I
don't know.
love. Raiders.
I haven't said anything about Raiders. Just Young
I
Indiana
love
Jones.
Raiders.
Okay.
Young Indiana Jones. I love it.
Okay. Joaquin Phoenix. Not Joaquin Phoenix. River Phoenix.
Don't even.
Hang
Don't
on.
make that mistake.
River Phoenix.
Oh, great thespian that we all know Johnny Depp murdered.
Did you see a movie in the 80s called Explorers.
Yeah, I loved Explorers.
I never saw that movie. I never heard about that movie until yesterday. A young, probably I'm gonna say 10-year-old, maybe 12-year-old Joaquin Phoenix, Ethan Hawke, and some third kid we never heard from again. And I looked at the trailer for this. It's crazy 80s fun. It looks like something I want to check out.
I'm very surprised that you never saw it.
I've never heard of it.
I'm not even trying to be.
Yeah, no, I've never heard of the thing.
Oh yeah, they create their own little spacecraft, and so Joaquin Phoenix, I want to say, is like the boy genius. Ethan Hawke is the adventurer.
I'm gonna have a full review of it next week.
I think is like
full
the
review
tubby,
for those of you who are on the cutting edge like me. Full review of a 1980s movie next week. Go ahead with the rest of your list.
Sounds like something I would do. Once Upon a Time with Deadpool, or Once Upon a Time Deadpool, is coming out in December. This is the thing we've talked about beforehand. This will be a PG-13 cut of Deadpool. Mike, does the world need a PG-13 cut of Deadpool?
Not really. I don't understand why. I kind of wonder if, I know Disney doesn't have a hand in this, but I kind of wonder if this would be happening if that deal wasn't coming around in January 1st.
Here's why it's happening.
All right.
They've come out and said there is a slow week and a half, 2 week period between like two major blockbusters, and they wanted to slot something in.
Oh.
They didn't have anything to slot in, but they've known that there's been a clamor for kids whose parents are actually, being good parents and not taking their kid to see a rated R movie.
Right.
That's right. I'm calling all of you out. If you're taking your 13-year-old to see Deadpool, I question your ability to raise children. Make no qualms about it, says the guy who has dogs. But this will finally be a way to allow younger viewers to check out Deadpool 2, with Deadpool then reenacting the Fred Savage scenes from Princess Bride in the bigger rated R moments. They'll break in and do this.
I believe the part about the empty week. That seems plausible. And they only did 1 day of principal photography for this.
Yeah, it only took 1 day to
for
get
thing. So whatever they did.
To slick up into that suit, Fred Savage. So 1 day of shooting cost him what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe $500,000, something like that.
But let's not.
So maybe not even that. I mean, how Fred Savage?
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to be relevant again? I don't know.
Let's not pretend, Fox, that this has anything to do with we want the kids to see it. Okay.
Okay.
2 things. One, any kid who wanted to see it bought a ticket for something else and walked into Deadpool. Number 2.
I do not condone that behavior.
Nobody does, but that's what happened. Number 2, it's been out on home release for 2 months, 3 months. Anybody who's wanted to see that movie has seen it. It's a cash grab. There's no question. Go ahead.
So it will only show for 12 days, from the 12th till Christmas Eve.
That's nice.
And then supposedly they're going to yank it. And $1 from each ticket sale will go to a cancer research situation.
That I'm on board
So,
with.
and supposedly Ryan Reynolds came out and said, I am not going to do this unless you give $1 of each ticket.
Each ticket.
That's some pull there.
For it's called Fudge Cancer for this for this release. Fudge Cancer
because it's PG-13.
Right.
So
great cause and good for him for making that stipulation in his deal. Good for him. Ryan Reynolds, by all accounts, is a solid dude.
He's a good guy, and I think he'll fit really well into the new Disney-owned Fox stuff.
We'll see.
So I expect good things to come from that, and hopefully, they make a lot of money for cancer. People go see it. I'll probably go see it.
I'll see it.
It'll be fun.
Most people that saw the first one will probably see the
I
second
only
one.
saw the Deadpool movie once in the theater. I don't mind going back to see. I almost wish they do this once in a while, where I'd like to see these movies about 9 months later.
Well, remember here in town we used to have the second run theater in the mall. That was good.
I love that
for
place.
$1.
Yeah, the dollar theater.
It was nice.
I loved it. So good.
Now it's a Chipotle.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think it's this. It's a bouncy store. Oh, it's 2. That bouncy place is where the theaters were. The Chipotle is where the concessions would have been.
Okay.
So it took up much space than that.
Right.
So
I'm glad you made that distinction.
Well, I just like to be right.
What about the hallway in the back? What part of that was that?
So The Walking Dead screwed the pooch and threw the whole series in the toilet, flushed it, and then had to reflush it again after making weeks of, well, then they didn't lie, Rick Grimes' last episode, Andrew Lincoln's last episode. Well, turns out it was his last episode. It just turns out, spoiler, he didn't die.
He didn't die.
Not only didn't die, there wasn't even a mystery left behind the fact that he didn't die. it was very obvious that a helicopter saved him and took him to freedom. Which then in the Talking Dead right afterwards, which do you still watch Talking Dead?
I watched that one. I don't
All
normally
right,
do.
so fill us in on. He's been.
So Scott Gimple, who used to be the showrunner and has been the showrunner the last few years, got promoted last year to runner of the Walking Dead franchise, because you've got the Others TV show, and the head of AMC about 6 months ago said, hey, there's 10 years worth of Walking Dead we can mine here. And that made people kind of groan. It's like, I don't know if we can have 10 more years of this particular series. Apparently what he meant was, we're going to do movies, feature films. They are going to be on AMC, but feature films that will star Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes as he explores the world outside of the area that we're in The Walking Dead, or the Fear of the Walking Dead, and what else is going on in the world. And also they're talking about another spin-off series and other things that I'm sure, games or computer stuff, whatever they decide to do. But they're wanting to expand the franchise as much as possible. Now, I don't know. I wasn't a fan. So Casey and I were watching it, and the whole time, as you said, they kept hammering home
His last episode.
His last episode.
They never said he was going to die.
No, they didn't. And that's kind of a twist of the fan there. I think to make it a play on words that you can defend later after the fact. You can defend that play on words.
What, 30 seconds later?
Yeah, but you can't take away the fact that the misdirection was so real. So whatever.
Levels of cheese.
Yeah.
The truth is, and I haven't been watching it recently. I haven't watched since Carol met the guy from the Kingdom. That was the last episode I watched. So I'm a year or two behind. And I will go back and eventually catch up because I like the series. Unfortunately, there is a lot of things to watch, and I prioritize, and that just eventually didn't make the cut.
Have you kept current on the comic?
I love the comic.
Okay.
The comic's well worth reading.
So let me ask you this: does Negan? Okay, and
From what I've been told is very close to what they did in the comic book with what they did in the show.
Okay.
There's a big war in the comic.
Yeah.
There's a big war. Negan finally loses and is captured.
Right.
They do that issue ends. The next issue is a jump in time. It's never been incredibly clear how much time it was, but you're thinking at least 6 months, maybe a year. You find out Rick did not kill Negan. He imprisoned him in the bottom of a house somewhere.
Right.
And eventually Negan got out, came to Rick's aid, helped him. Rick's like, man, there's nothing I want to do more in life than kill you. But I'm a better person than that for this issue. Next issue, I'll do something else horrible.
Yeah.
Let him go.
In the show, before the time, they do a time jump at the very end of the episode, okay? They jump ahead, I want to say 6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years?
Yeah.
Oh, holy cow.
At the end of this last episode, they do. Okay, after Rick is on the helicopter and is on his way out, they do I don't know if it's part of the story. They do a 6. So they've done from when Negan gets defeated to where we were last episode. That's a year and a half. That's a year and a half jump.
That might have been the comic then.
Yeah.
So the comic's unclear.
And they deal with Negan in the basement and in jail. The thing I was going to ask you though was, okay, Negan is Negan. He's a bad guy, blah blah blah, whatever. But he's been for a year and a half. He's been in this prison.
Broken.
Yeah.
Except they never break him.
Maggie is coming to kill Negan. She's had enough. She's given Rick a year to.
While he's in the cage?
To have his pet, and all that stuff. And Maggie's coming for him, okay? She gets there, and he's broken, okay? And he is upset and can't live. Please kill me because I need to go live with my wife. Or I need to go be with my wife, blah, blah. And so Maggie doesn't kill him. And I just, even the scenes he was in with Rick in the prison, he was still all bravado and everything, not as much, a little broken, but not as much. But then Maggie gets there, and was it a trick to save his own life or what? Because she was there to shoot him.
Yeah, the comic handles this a lot better, it sounds like. In the comic, there's another thing that happens that's really cool, which you haven't got to yet in the show, I've been told. And basically, he tricks some new people into letting him out, who spins it. But once he gets out, he doesn't go after Rick. In fact, when he finally confronts Rick, he's like, listen, you know what? I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
That's what I am. But so are you.
Well, that's not going to
We're
happen.
not that much different. And he ends up basically saving them.
Yeah.
He goes out and performs basically an assassin-style mission with him. But somewhere along the line, Lucille gets broken. And that's actually what breaks him.
And he kept in prison. He kept whining about Lucille. I want to see. I want to see my wife. I want to see Lucille. Maybe that's her name. But he was talking about earlier with Rick. Hey, where's the bat? And he kept saying Lucille. Where's Lucille? I want her. I want to see her. I want to touch her. Whatever.
Yeah.
It was just really weird.
He gets it back, and then it breaks. And when it breaks, he breaks. And there's a great issue of Negan like out on his own finally, like he's by himself. Rick's like, I'm not going to kill you, but you're not staying here.
Right.
So and don't ever let me see you again, kind of a deal, because I'll go Clint Eastwood on you.
Right.
So he goes off and he does his little thing. He helps out, and then he goes and he's in his little hut somewhere off in the distance, and you see a day in the life of Negan, and a day in the life of Negan without the followers and without all the crap and all that. It's just he's a broken man. So,
well, this time jump at the end of this last episode, like I said, is 6 or 7 years.
Yeah,
There's a young, not even young adult, a kid. I want to say so, probably 13-year-old Judith, the baby, is grown up, and that was to me the worst. Even worse than Rick flying off in the helicopter and that head fake. Even worse than that was this. They jump ahead. You don't know what's to jump ahead, but you see people fighting zombies, and Judith shows up. And I think she shoots him or whatever she does. And they say, hey, kid, who are you? And she reaches down and picks up Rick's hat and puts it on. She goes, Judith Grimes, you know? And it was almost like she winked to the camera a little bit, you know? Like,
I heard she had a sword. I heard she had like a Michonne
she
sword,
probably did.
too.
Yeah, probably so.
That's the thing with me right now. And again, I'm not watching it, but I'm just going to say what I'm hearing from a lot of outside sources is that it's turned into a dumpster fire of ratings.
Oh, the ratings are horrible.
Are sliding.
I don't dislike the show.
Yet you've got people screaming. You're not screaming. We got 10 years worth of mining out of it. You're going to be lucky if you get 10 more episodes out of it at this point with the way the ratings are going. How fastly they're sliding into this abysmal dreck. And then to pull a squat, when your ratings are down, to pull the squat move that they just did with Andrew Lincoln, that is just going to irritate and annoy people. Now the whole time jump thing, I'm sorry, I don't care how many cute cousins you give the Brady family, you don't get back anything from doing that. Yeah. That kind of stunt doesn't work.
Here's AMC's problem is they haven't come up with another hit. They probably thought it was going to be that Into the Badlands, and that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad is done. Mad Men is done. They don't have another hit. So as low as the ratings may go, until they come up with another hit, I don't know that they'll.
Sure.
I don't know that
they're going to keep
go
scrubbing
anywhere.
the bottom of this.
Won't go anywhere.
This, yeah, I don't know. There's some bad stuff there.
All right, what else you got on this dead horse?
Hey, so Friday the 13th, one of the most popular money-making franchises in the horror realm of all time, has been a bit of a quandary. Turns out that the original writer of the very first movie has sued to get the rights back to Friday the 13th. There is a provision out there now that says 35 years after a creation, the creator can then try to get back his material.
What does that mean, try to get it back?
He can go to court and try to prove that he is the source of the material. Of course, the original people are like, you are a work for hire, just like Marvel has done, and all these other people have done for years, except he won. So, the original writer has got the rights back to the first Friday the 13th movie.
Okay.
But this is a lot like that James Bond situation where there's like one James Bond movie, and I think it's Fireball or whatever it's called. Thunderball, where somebody else has the rights to that movie. So occasionally you'll see a Thunderball remake. That's where the Never Say Never
Again
came from. You had two James Bond movies at the same time.
Right.
So he's won, but here's the thing, and hardcore horror fans know this, the first Friday the 13th movie has nothing to do practically with the rest of the franchise.
Right, because there's no, Jason shows up at the end.
Not in it.
Well, he shows up at the end.
There's no hockey mask.
No.
He's not an 8-foot-tall serial killer.
He's not the same character, but he is the same character.
This guy ended up with Camp Crystal Lake, teenagers being killed by a mom, and if he really wanted to push it, a scrawny drowned kid with no hair. That's what he ends up with.
Wow.
And he only has the U.S. rights to that. The actual guys who are claiming ownership still, for whatever reason, the court found gets to keep international rights plus all of the other rights to 2 through 10
Well, you
and
got
then
something.
beyond.
You know, you got
and so
something.
there's already been a reboot once, about 2006 or so, I want to say. I want to say one of the guys from Supernatural was in it.
Yeah, it was Jared Padalecki.
Jared Padalecki.
The tall one.
So he was in that one. The other guy was in
Jensen Ackles was in some other.
like a
Crappy.
driller movie or something. Something like that.
Nice, good pull.
So they both at the same time. I think I want to say it was at the almost exact same time
Yeah.
they were both in these movies.
And I
So-
don't think they ever made either one of them made another movie again. They were like, okay, we just did 24 episodes of this show. We're gonna squeeze in a movie and then go back and do another 24 episodes. No, thank you.
Yeah, and I don't think either of the movies made enough money
No.
to make it that big a deal.
They made-
Actually, the Friday the 13th movie did make a profit and did well, just not well enough that
Yeah.
anybody cared. So you've got that going on. LeBron James,
Wow.
the basketball sensation,
Sure.
now has a production company.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He wants in
In
on this
Friday the 13th?
on the Friday the 13th Jason
All right.
deal. So there's a lot of stuff going around. People are very nostalgic for the Jason franchise right
Sure.
now. There's been a lot of life coming back into Chucky and Freddy and all these kind of characters,
Mm-hmm.
and people are really excited about this. So. We'll see how it all turns out, but you could end up with 2 Friday the 13th. Now, I think that
You think?
what you'll have is that the guy who has the rights to the original goes to a place like AMC and does a Psycho style thing where you get Jason's daddy and Jason's mommy and how they conceive a little baby Jason and the screwed up nature of how he gets to be where he's at and how all that would come to
The
fruition.
guy should try to turn, since he has what he has, try to turn that into a more of a TV series than anything.
Like I said, like the Psycho TV series.
Oh, sorry.
This is exactly.
I obviously wasn't paying attention. You know, he ought to turn it into a TV series. You know, maybe something that he could really mine that with. What else you got?
So the Toy Hall of Fame has elected to put 3 new toys.
There is such a thing?
Yes.
Do they get jackets?
They get put on display full time in the museum.
They're on display in this room.
Well, I don't know. Actually, no.
Okay.
I don't think so.
What is it?
So the 3 that this year, out of 12 nominees, the 3 that get in are Magic 8 Ball, Uno, and Pinball.
Uno's not a game. Uno's not a toy. It's a game.
Doesn't matter. It's part
Pinball's
of
a
their
game.
thing.
All right, whatever.
The stick is like one of the first things ever put into the, I'm not joking. Stick.
And the winner is
Stick.
They had the bad seats way in the back. Nobody ever thought they were.
The
gonna
other
go through.
nominees, American Girl Doll did not make the cut.
Oh,
Chalk did not make the cut. Chutes and Ladders. You probably remember this one. The Fisher Price Corn Popper.
yeah. The little, you push it and then.
Yep.
Sure, got it.
Masters of the Universe.
This is all dumb. Can we do something else?
The Sled. But
Yeah.
this is the one. This is the biggie for me. This is the one that made me think the fix is in.
Okay.
Tic-Tac-Toe didn't win. How does Tic-Tac-Toe not make it in, Mike?
I don't know.
Tickle Me Elmo and the electric
I don't
football
care.
game didn't
I
make
don't
it.
care.
So, yeah.
3 minutes. And we wasted 2 of them on that.
I didn't think that was 2 minutes. We'll have to time that.
Go ahead.
I mean, that's about all I really want to talk about. We got the new Green Lantern book out.
The art looks great.
Liam Sharp is a great artist. He's done a lot of stuff with DC before, I believe.
This is
and,
post New 52.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is your new take on him. Grant Morrison, legendary DC writer, is at the helm of it. This is focusing on Hal Jordan being Green Lantern again. We've just gone through a year or 2 of the Green Lantern book focusing on 2 other characters that weren't him. So this is kind of a return. This is just like Marvel with their Cap. Falcon was Cap for a while.
Right.
Female Thor,
Right.
all this. Same kind of deal.
Whoa.
Somebody else was in the Green Lantern title. Now it's back to the guy that everybody really sees as Green Lantern, which is Hal Jordan.
This page makes me think that this wasn't always there. That the editor came in and said, "You need to put something on
That
that
very well
part
could
right there."
be. Grant Morrison's well known for doing stuff from Vertigo line, which is a more adult line, but he's also known for one of the best Justice League runs ever for a short amount of time. So his take on this, the thing with Grant Morrison is you never know if you're going to get the genius comic writer Grant Morrison, or if you're going to get the wacko warlock magic version of Grant Morrison he claims to be. You just never know for sure. So right now, this one's kind of in the middle. Liam Sharp's art definitely brings it into the realm of I want to have it. The writing is pretty solid all the way through. His characterization of Hal Jordan is very classic, lone cowboy kind of a deal. But there's also enough wacko but space university stuff of all the different kinds of aliens and characters that make up the Green Lantern core that allow that crazy sci-fi kind of bent to it. So I highly recommend it. If you like Green Lantern, if you like Hal Jordan, definitely check it out. But only, we're not going to know until the first real storyline's over whether Grant Morrison's going to have a really good run on this, or whether he's got a good reign on the characters, or if he's just going to have another crazy comic meltdown that doesn't make any sense.
Who's the guy that just jumped from Marvel to DC?
Brian Michael Bendis.
That's right. What's he doing? Is he doing Superman?
He's doing Superman.
Okay.
He's kind of doing the whole Superman thing.
Okay.
He's definitely had his way. Plus, he's brought all of his creator-owned stuff over, and then he's created one or two new creator-owned things for them as well. Cool. So they're doing all right.
Good.
Deadwood, finally, after like 12 years of talking about getting a movie and a unhappy third season finale, finally gets to see light of day.
Right, we've talked about this probably 2 or 3 times in the last couple of years because it's always rumor. I think the last time we talked about it was actually, this is a done deal, this is happening, these people are signed. Now they've actually started principal photography, so it's rolling, it's going. All the original cast has returned for the most part.
I didn't see anybody's name that I recognize that didn't return.
Yeah.
Unless they're dead in real life or their character died, I'm under the impression they're back.
The only one that died really was Jim Beaver, and I think he's back on Supernatural after having been gone for a year or so. So
Who's that?
On Supernatural, he's Bobby.
Oh, Bobby? I
Yeah.
thought Bobby was dead.
Bobby is dead.
Okay.
Supernatural now is pulling characters from an alternate universe.
So we've got Darkseid Bobby.
He's a good guy.
Okay.
He's a good guy, and he's
So they just brought Bobby back.
basically, yeah.
What's the difference?
He's a different Bobby. Well, and
He doesn't call midgets,
that's
does
an
he?
apocalyptic universe. When they got over there, everything had gone really bad. Like one of the times where they saved the world from the apocalypse, they didn't save it. So they go over there, and they spent a lot of time actually over there. But when they came back, Bobby and several survivors came back. But that universe's version of Michael, the Archangel, he came back also. So he's the big bad in this season in our universe.
Well, very cool. Well, I look forward to checking
Deadwood,
it out.
Great series, one of my favorite, probably top 10, and it's hopefully the movie gives them the room to wrap some things up, and a lot of great characters, such great characters.
I think that wraps up GeekStorm for the day. I think your big takeaway is that Tic-Tac-Toe got robbed and was not put into the Toy Hall of Fame.
Oh, boy.
Today's episode was filmed live in the heart of Geek Street, right here at 111 in downtown Kokomo. That's it. Kokomo Toys and Collectibles.
It's great.
Check it out.
Greatest store ever.
Be groovy, everybody.